I'd like to welcome everybody to our Lockport Township meeting tonight for the month of September. I'd ask everybody to please stand and for the pledge. And I'd ask everybody to continue standing after a minute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to have a moment of silence for the September 11th, the casualties and all the people that perished in New York, in Washington, D.C., and in Pennsylvania. I'd also like to keep in our thoughts the people of Texas and of Florida and Puerto Rico and all the Caribbean islands that are suffering so bad, and out west with the fires. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. All right, we'll start out with the Road and Bridge Fund tonight. We'll do a roll call of officers.
Supervisor Albverico.
Here.
Trustee Boyce. Here. Trustee Delaney. Here. Trustee Vickus.
Here.
Assessor Mason. Here. Attorney Gary Mueller.
Present.
Dean Morelli is absent, and John Chalinsky is absent, and Lance McCullough is absent.
All right, Lance did let me know he had a death in the family today. He's with his family, and I know John Chalinsky is ill. And I believe Dean is out of town, so everybody has an excuse, I guess. All right, everybody in their packet should have received the minutes for the Road and Bridge meeting of August 14th. I do need a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Barb Delaney.
I'll second it.
Second by Barb Boyce. Any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's it. Thank you. We have the bills of $77,787.36. I do need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Barb Boyce.
I'll second.
Second by Barb Delaney. Any questions of the bills?
Yeah, I did have a question for the road commissioner, but unfortunately he is not here this evening. The only question that I did have is on the list of bills or purchases, I should say. He has a equipment purchase that he would like for us to approve this evening for $35,468. This is the first time that I've seen this presented to us. I would just appreciate next time that we have a little bit more advance notice as to what he's purchasing and why.
Well, I can maybe clear that up for you.
Okay.
I know what that's about.
All right.
John Deere, it's a end loader that he bought. And basically that's the same consignment idea that we're doing with the buses.
Okay.
He makes his payments once a year, and this is the time of year when it's come up.
Okay, so this is already purchased.
It's already purchased, he's been using
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All
I
right.
think there's,
Trustee Delaney, in your question to that, when this was in 2014, when I believe 2015 when we bought this, 2015 when we bought this on order, and it is a good idea to have the trustees with paperwork that shows exactly how we went about with that process of purchasing that equipment. Unfortunately, I still don't have that except for the credit in my office. So, those are things that are good for board members to have present. So we will convey that to him.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clearing that up.
all right. Any other questions of bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Albverico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickus?
Yes.
All right, Motion carries. Moving on to citizens wishing to address the board. This would be for the highway department. Seeing none, we will also skip the highway commissioner's report since he is not here. I have no other business in the highway, so I would ask for an adjournment.
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Barb Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to the general assistance agenda. You have the meeting minutes of the monthly meeting of August 14th, 2017. I need a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll make a motion to pass the minutes.
I've got a motion by Greg Bickus,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions of the minutes? I'm sorry, Barb Boyce. Excuse me. I knew it was Barb Boyce, I don't know why I said Delaney. All right, any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. You have the bills of $7,611.80 this month. I do need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. All right, any questions of the bills tonight? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico,
Yes.
Boyce,
Yes.
Delaney,
Yes.
Bickus.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Any citizens here wishing to address the board tonight for the general assistance?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Broder, resident of the community, business owner, and community activist. A couple quick questions here, Ron. In the last 3 or 4 months, this approval of the bills number has fluctuated, and now it's down almost $2,500. My question is the amount of money that was handed out in this, is it included in the 76?
Yes.
And then to follow that up would be, is there any way we can have these minutes actually, kind of lay out how much was actually handed out? And maybe itemize it by gas, food, other. I mean, it seems like a little bit of transparency here after some of the discussion we've had, I think might help. I know it would help me. So again, just maybe for the future, if we can itemize, put a number on how much was given out, and then itemize how much in gas, how much in food, how much in, I guess we'd have to say others, because it goes to water bills, garbage bills, whatever you will agree to. And then one other thing on that fund, is there anything in writing of what could actually be paid? Do you guys actually have a list of what can actually be used, this can be used for?
There's a general assistance manual that we have to follow. That's put out by the state.
Okay. So you actually are following the state rule on that? Okay. That's standard protocol when the state has issued rules and follow them? Okay, so just going back, and I'm just, I would really appreciate to be able to see exactly what this fund is doing. And by itemizing it and maybe putting out exactly how much was handed out, make me not have to come up here and ask these questions. So some food for thought. Hopefully that you're hungry enough to eat it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to under new business, you'll have, I do need tonight, I would like to get approved. There's a training for the general assistance down at the TOI conference this, I believe it's November the 11th, the day before the TOI conference. There's the rest of the 2-day conference. But anyway, I'm asking for a one-day training, for 2 people to go down to the one-day training that will happen on Saturday before the TOI conference. So I do need a motion for 2 people for 1 day extra at the TOI conference.
I'll make the motion.
I get a motion by Barb Boyce,
I'll second.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions?
I would just have a question. Do you have anybody in mind who plans on?
Yes, our caseworker.
Okay.
She's over down there.
Okay.
She wants to wear those glasses and She'll be going to TLI conference too for our classes in general assistance.
So that's just the one person?
And I think we're going
You're going, okay.
since I'm the head of the general
Right,
assistance.
okay.
Any other questions? Can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Old business, and Terry, this might help you. It's the financial monthly breakdown of the report that we do every month. Pretty much answers every question you just asked.
Hopefully that will
Tells
come
you
out
how
on the
many
agenda.
people, excuse me, I have the floor now. It will tell you how many people have applied for general assistance for the month of August. It'll tell you how many people failed to provide the right information. We have 5 people that re-qualified for general assistance and 1 person that qualified for emergency assistance. So right now we have 6 people out of general assistance for the month. The other breakdown here is the financial aid. Will tell you exactly what we handed out this month of August. We have 2 people that received help with housing, 1 person with the gas, 3 with electric. It's not people. I don't want to mislead you. We gave out help for 2 people with housing. Now those same 2 people may have gotten some housing, some electric, some fuel. You know, they don't just get one thing. So we gave 2 housing, 1 on gas, 3 in electric, 4 got help with water, 1 got help with garbage. Fuel, we gave 3 fuel cards out and 1 food card this month.
Ronnie, and I know I don't have the floor.
I'm sorry, you've had your 3 minutes.
Is it just, can I ask one question? Just where
We
can I
have
get that
to, we
money?
have to run this the way my rules of order.
See, the
I
way you
can't
have the
you
order,
get up.
I can't
get
ask
in
questions
the
after
question.
you speak.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time at the microphone. Thank you. Anybody else have any other questions? I have nothing else in general assistance. So I would ask for an adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's it. Thank you very much. Moving on to our senior fund. Again, you should have your minutes of the monthly meeting of August 14th, 2017. I need a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
and a second by Greg Pickus. Any questions of the minutes tonight? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. You have the bills of $17,579.28. I do need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Going pretty good right now. Yeah. Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Any citizens wishing to address the board for the senior fund tonight? Seeing none, we'll go on to new business. We have a resolution that I want to pass tonight for the bus. It's for the 2 new buses. Going through the paperwork, they said we have to pass this resolution to get the buses going. The buses are already being built. This is just some business that we have to take care of, but I wanted to pass it tonight. I did send it over to our attorney. I apologize. I was out of town for a week or so it kind of fell off a little bit, and our attorney was out of town for a little bit, so I didn't really find out if there was an issue with this until Thursday last week. We were trying to work out some of the verbiage. Some things need to be changed. Our attorney brought it to our attention. So I'm, at this point, unless you want to elaborate, I think we'll just table it until next month.
I'll be more than happy to answer any questions as to why we still
If anybody wants a question, but I will take the motion to table.
There were a couple of things, trustee Delaney, that I found sample. For example, the cover letter said there are not any changes to the lease. In the first paragraph, the lease said, go ahead and make changes. So that was a little bit confusing to begin with. Secondarily, one of the major concerns was there's a term within the proposed lease that says if the lease is terminated, then we, township, would have to return the buses to whatever designation that the landlord, the vendor had within the contiguous 48 states, with no representation where that would be. But that would be at our expense to do. Also, as a lease, as many of you know, if you've ever dealt with any leases for vehicles, there is a provision typically that will say here's the maximum number of miles per each vehicle. In looking at the proposed number that was, I asked Ron's office to tell whether that was actually a legitimate number or not. And I think it was low, the number of years that the lease would be extending. And knowing that we would be using each bus for more miles, we'd be setting ourselves up for failure. So that at the end, you wouldn't really have the option to simply buy it at fair market value. You would buy it at fair market value plus a rather substantial penalty. So those are the main issues that we found that need to be resolved according to the proposal.
And that's not, is that going to, would those decisions make any change with what we just did with the purchase or the leasing of these buses?
I anticipate it probably will not for the board. It's just a matter of making sure the board knows and goes into it with eyes wide open. So that if, after reviewing the type of utilization that we've had in the past for those buses, if the board then reviews it and says, well, we've averaged X number of miles per year, and we think we're going to be about that same amount, then perhaps we get the lease to be adjusted so that at least reflects that number. If we think we're going to use it more, then it would be better for us if we negotiated a higher number. So that then, once again, at least we're not walking into it knowing that we're going to have a penalty in 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did those documents that we looked at the night when we approved that, did it have the number of miles per year on the lease? I don't remember seeing that because that's all that
I know it was discussed between my office and that, and then the numbers came in the contract different. So that's what I have to tell you.
I'll have to check my paperwork. But I don't remember seeing anything as far as miles on there because that's so far. So I thought I'd look at the lease.
But before we pass any resolution, I want to get all the verbiage right. So I would ask for a motion to table the resolution for the bus lease.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Barb Delaney, second by Greg Pickus. Any other discussion? Can I have a roll call, please?
Albverico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Pickus?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. All right.
One comment on that question.
Sure.
When you do get the lease, can you send it out at least via electronic so I think so we can take a look at
Each other?
it? Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
As long as I remember. I'll try to get it out there. Next on the list here is approval for one person to go to the IPTA 2017 Fall Conference. This is the Illinois Paratransit Authority Fall Conference. It's down in Springfield also. I think it's this month, the 18th. I would like to send Michelle down there, one of my employees, because she has to keep up with all the new rules and laws of the Paratransit Authority. It's a 3-day conference. It's like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. She'll go down there Monday, I believe. And then she'll come home Wednesday, so I believe Monday and Tuesday night she'll stay, but I would like to send it down there. So I do need a motion to approve one person to the Illinois Paratransit.
I do have a question. It says there's a golf outing.
Right,
Is
she's
that
not
has to
going
be-
to the golf
okay,
outing.
So we don't have to register, so, okay.
No, I'm not sending
It's
her.
on the agenda there.
I'm sending her down to the conference.
Which begins
So it's on Tuesday and Wednesday, right?
Tuesday and Wednesday, I guess. Yeah, I think she said she was going to go down early Tuesday morning.
So it begins at 10. 10 a.m., that says p.m., I'm sure that's a mistake.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
Well, after the outbreaks, at 8:30 a.m. is the general
Yeah.
opening session. You know what, she did talk about maybe going down to the reception, so anyway, I think I know we're not gonna pay for her to go golf. And being that she has to be down there at 8:30 in the morning, I'm not sure what lane she needs to go down there on Monday at noon, so she's gonna get there.
And this conference it's a vendor showcase for, what is it, a showcase? Sure.
Yeah, there are some vendor showcase also. All right, I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I need a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second?
second by Barb Delaney. Any other discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickers?
No.
Motion carries. I have no other old business. I would call for adjournment for the senior fund.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second?
second by Barb Delaney. Thank you very much. Moving on to our town fund. Everybody again should have minutes of the August 14th meeting of 2017. I would ask for a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. Any questions of the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We have the bills of $93,605.74. I need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. Any questions of tonight's bills for the town fund? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. All right, any citizens wishing to address the board for the town fund?
Good evening, Terry Broadhurst one more time. I'd like to just take one moment to take a step back to last month's meeting. We talked about state laws, we talked about obligation and what is expected of our local government. We talked about sealed bids and taking the lowest bid. And then, in fact, I was corrected. First, Ron had said, and I quote, the law was to take the lowest bid. And then our attorney followed up, and I quote, it was the most reasonable lowest bid.
No, English response.
That's, it's in the minutes. So what I wanted to find out tonight, we had 3 people came in with bids. We had one company, I'm not going to even say the company names because I don't think that's fair. One company who has done multiple public projects in Lockport came in with about a 30-page pamphlet with information or background, pictures of jobs they've done, insurance, liability, surety bonds. I mean, they went as far as putting pictures in the people that were actually going to do the work and with background check papers in this or available from this. That was the first bidder. The second bidder came in with about 20 pages. Pretty much all the same information, a few less projects in Lockport. But again, very responsible, very well explained, and all the information you think in a responsible bid was there. The guy who got the bid, one piece of paper, folks. One piece of paper, you gave all that money to a company. When you talk about reasonable, responsible bids, how do you compare 30-some pages to one? Pictures of past projects. Again, insurance information. When I filed for this Freedom of Information Act, there was no insurance that went with this. There was nothing. In fact, I had to file 2 just to get what I really wanted.
Terry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I need to know what you're talking about.
This is the general contractor. And the reason I'm bringing this point, this is the general contractor that did this project, the project manager.
But the general contractor for what?
For the remodeling of this building.
Okay,
Okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have been a little more explanatory. But the reason I'm bringing this information to you, because it brings us right back to the water board. Guess who got the contract for $1 million to do our water, who is not a water certified water technician? This guy. This guy got the water job too. Now, we talked earlier tonight, you had made a comment about the assistance fund. That's fine, Rob. You talked about the assistance fund, and I asked you a couple of questions. You said you follow the state laws, written by the state, right? Okay, well that's good to know, but the problem is you don't follow them rules in the water. I look for, hold on, no, this is a public meeting, I have the right to speak.
I ask that you bring those to the water board.
No, Ron, that's an illegal water board. I'm going to speak in public always about the water board until you fix it.
Your 3 minutes is up.
Let me finish, please.
Please be seated.
You talked about following state written rules.
I will call the police and have you.
If you have to call the police, if you have to do that in front of this camera, because you can't answer truthful questions, then that makes you look criminal, Ron, not me. What I'm asking is a simple question.
Terry, we have.
What I'm asking, Ron, is why we didn't follow the state laws when it comes to testing our water? Do you know that when I went online to find the testing results of our water, they're not there?
I'll call the police then. If you won't follow the
Ron, are you
follow our
serious?
rules.
Are you serious? You're going to call the police because I'm asking you legal questions about the illegal activities that you have created for yourself? My 3 minutes are up, but I think next month I'll be back for the next 3. And Ron, guess what? The problem is, the more I dig, the more dirt that keeps coming up. I don't want this. This is your fault. Do the job that you were hired to do, or elected to do. And do it the same way all the way
Terry,
through.
sit, please. I've given you more than 3 minutes to speak. I've put up with your accusations of.
No, they're not accusations. These are factual information.
I do not make the decision.
Factual information. It's all in the
Again, I would
paper.
ask that you please restrain from interrupting the meeting, interrupting me. You get up there, you talk and talk and talk.
John, Ron, you just interrupted me when I was at the
I have
mic.
the floor now, you do not have the floor. We have to carry this out in an orderly way, Terry. I'm sorry you cannot contain yourself, but you need to contain yourself at these meetings.
Right.
Otherwise, nothing gets done.
I don't know if you realize, but you interrupted me.
Please resign from speaking. We are running a meeting here. Thank you very much. I take everything you say into consideration. Believe me, when we did these bids, I'm not the one making the decision. It's the board, and we all talk, and we all decide and vote on it. It's not me by myself. I do not do one thing here by myself. That being said, if we decide to go with a bid, please, I have the floor. I did not interrupt
Do you
you.
know him personally?
Personally,
Do you know him personally?
please do not interrupt me anymore. I'm going to ask you to be removed again. I don't know how many times and how much I have to tell you this, Terry. I will have you removed if you interrupt me one more time, okay? Please. I want people to be at this meeting, but not if they're just going to be interrupting me. Please, do not interrupt me. I will have you removed, okay? Thank you. I told you. I gave you your 3 minutes. It's not my job to respond to your 3 minutes right away. I told you your answers. You do not want to hear it. You just ramble on over me. So that being said, thank you for your comments. I take them all under consideration. And I said last month, if you'll look back at the meeting, you're invited to my office at any time, and I will explain it to you in my office. You haven't showed up. My office is open. Please do not interrupt me. I'm here every day. Please come to my office, and I will answer your questions. Thank you. Moving on. The assessor's report.
We just finished the board review deadline was September 5th, so everybody that filed a complaint had until the end of that day to file. We started our hearings. We reviewed over 10,000 parcels, and so far we only have 36 hearings, so we're not doing too bad so far. There's only one other thing that I have that's not part of the assessor's office. In your packet, I put 2 different pictures. The first picture with the yellow one is the one that it's called book share a book. Did you get one? And this one was made by Chief Story, and it's in front of Cheney Manji School. And what the Free Library is that they build a box and people bring in and put children's books or regular books in them, and people can come at any time and take a book and put another one in. We're asking if we could put one in front of our building. It looks like the design of the other one, the wooden one. We have someone that's going to build it for free, and there is a registration for it for $40, which I'm going to pay out of my own pocket to approve, but he's going to build it for nothing for the building. And I would like to ask for approval to put this by our building.
So I just have a question on how it works. So basically somebody can take a book out of here, obviously, and then bring one of their books?
If they choose, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it works really good. They're all over the place. They're in front of churches, and a lot of the schools in Troy have them. But, you know, they're really nice because kids can come for free and just take a book and at any time and bring, put one in if they want to.
Do you have any problems with vandalism?
We've never had any trouble with chain money.
No?
Not at all.
Any problems with people putting inappropriate books in there?
No. Ours have been up there, ours one at school, been up there about 5 years, and we've never had a problem with it.
Okay.
Well, to add to Greg, I mean, with somebody, maybe not church you on occasion?
We
what's
would,
it-
yes.
Okay.
I mean, we're here every day, so if we put it in front of the building, it wouldn't be something we could
Okay.
put in.
All right.
And we do have cameras that do go outside, so we can put it right where that camera is in view.
Right.
That would be a good idea.
All right. I will make a motion that we approve share a book program.
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Delaney. Any other questions?
I just don't want the township to be exposed to any negative publicity or lawsuits due to something like this. So, that's my argument against it.
All right. I would ask Gary his opinion of it as a liability.
I don't think there's a concern. We have a number of, I live in Lennox, and we have a number of those throughout the village.
They seem to be working everywhere consistently. So anyway, if there's any other discussion, if not, I'll take a roll call.
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickers?
No.
Okay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
All
That's all I have tonight.
right, well, thank you very much. Moving on to the clerk's report.
Thank you, Supervisor Alberico. On the agenda is the approval of digitizing the records in the clerk's office. I have been working with Martin Wayland for over a year now, trying to get my office records digitized. He came out and did a webinar with my deputy clerk, and it was probably about a year ago. And with all of the moving that we had to do, it was kind of put in the background. And once we got into the building, everything else that has been going on, I told him that I would put it on the September agenda. So it is on the agenda. You do have a quote from what is called Intact for digitizing records. On the page there, the total price would be $9,200. This would be with a support package and also includes the software. The other quote that we received is called Laserfish, and it is what the city of Lockport currently uses and the village of Romeoville. So I'm leaning towards the Intact with Martin Wayland for the software program.
Denise, I just have for clarification, the $9,200 looking at what the information you gave us, that's for 5 years of support, correct?
It is for 5 years. No, with the 5 years of support, so really, they really want you to do 3 years for sure in your contract, because once your employee learns the system, they're not going to have as many questions. They're not going to need to be calling for support on certain certain things that they're putting in. So, I really think that 3 years of support would be plenty. And if you want him, he said he would come out and do a workshop. You know, Ron and I talked about that. If you need some more explanation from him.
But if it's for 3 years, then it wouldn't be 9,200, wouldn't it be less?
It probably would be.
Okay. And was this the only, other than the, so you got 2 bids, laser?
Yes, two proposals.
Okay.
And, you know, just to give you, and it does tell you, you know, about it. It's the benefits of digitizing the records. You know, you secure the documents for storage and increase office space. I did have a conversation with our accountant, Dave Meyer, and he really does want to keep paper documents still for a number of years. He doesn't want, so with that being said, we can still scan the documents. It will be easier for us to look at the documents instead of flipping through files. Ron's office, one of the users will be somebody from Ron's office, whoever's doing the bookkeeping from that office, so that when they want to look up an invoice, you just go onto the computer and look it up and it's right in there. So they're not coming down, you know, flipping through files.
Okay.
Yeah, make FOIA requests work a lot easier too.
Yes, thank you. Well, and it's resolutions and ordinances and everything
Right.
to be on there.
How many people would you have trained on this?
2.
2,
So my
including
part-time
yourself?
my part-time employee and my deputy clerk.
Okay. Would you also sit on the
Yes,
training?
yes, I will.
Okay.
I did sit on the webinar training,
Okay.
yes.
So then one of Brian's employees being trained on those?
Yes, it will be a three-user pack.
Okay,
So it'll
that's
be
what I was going to ask.
my deputy, myself, and an employee from Ron's office.
Okay.
And then just as a reminder, if the board chooses to utilize this particular proposal, we need to probably slightly revise the proposal, because the authority of the board is only to go through the elected time frame of the elected officials. So if you were to go beyond your elected term, we'd have to take those, any additional times would be optional, for optional exemptions. We couldn't commit any new elected official or new board to this particular proposal.
It also says on here, this proposal is valid through 2/13/17. Is the proposal still valid?
It is still valid, it is. I did put a call into Jeff from Martin Whalen. He did not return my phone call as of yet, but I did tell him that I was bringing it up at the board meeting. And like I said, if you would like, he can come out, we can have a workshop on it, if you feel more comfortable.
I think that it's something that's needed, so I'm going to take your word that you've vetted the vendors, and this is your job, so hopefully you're doing a good job of what you do, so.
Okay, thank you, Brett.
And you'd rather go with the dynamics and stuff?
My deputy clerk feels comfortable with this system. They will absolutely have to come out and train us again.
Okay.
So, all right.
All right. Anybody
So we need a motion?
would suggest we make a motion to accept the contract with Info Dynamics.
Okay, I will make the motion.
So I think we need to have we can't accept this, I mean, should we make a motion, we go forward with it, or accept the contract? There's no contract.
But this is really just a proposal, correct?
But you're asking him to have the
Well,
workshop before we approve this?
I think the proposal, the motion is we go forward and pursue and go ahead and finalize the contract with Dynamics. And then once the contract's here, then we can approve the contract.
Okay. this, I mean, so like you said, this is just a proposal?
Yes, correct.
And then you're asking us just to approve the proposal and then have the contract come back to us?
Correct.
Okay.
With final numbers.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
All right, I got a motion to accept the proposal. We will go forward with it.
I made that motion.
Need a second.
Second.
Need a second. Greg Pickus made a second. Any other questions? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Albverico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Pickus?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Just a couple more things.
Sure.
If you don't mind, that's okay. So, the website, the digitizing records does not coincide with the website, but we've been asked by many residents to put our board packets online, and we have tried that extensively to do that through no avail because we don't have a large enough capacity on our website to do that. So we have talked, Ron and I, about getting our website up to date and more user-friendly. So I just want you to know that that is in the process. We are going to try to find, I don't know if we're going to stay with the same person or if we're going to try to find somebody else, so that it is user-friendly and that we have more transparency.
Why don't we put that in public notice out that we are looking for bids to redesign the website? It's a big enough project. I mean, I've seen website costs, and there probably is a Township of Illinois general template website
Here it is.
that we may consider. So we can say that, put some parameters in there. I'd like to see that move forward because that would be a great thing to act on. So,
Are you saying you want to get bids and?
I think we should definitely get bids for this, yes. Put it out in public notice so that the community knows that we're looking to have this work done.
For updating the website.
Yes.
Could you prepare something like that, Attorney?
Something similar to is it Torma that, or is it?
No, it's not Torma, TOI.
TOI does
They do have a template.
I know for Chamber of Commerce, they have a general website that other townships use, or other chambers use. But that may not be in our best interest, that those are expensive.
All in favor?
Yeah.
I know we've got a lot of comments about trying to get it worked out. I'm not a big web guy myself, so I'm going to have Denise kind of take the reins and run with this and try to get it up right the way we want it.
If you need help getting the parameters together,
I'd be more than happy to.
I could, send me an email and I'll do what I can.
Absolutely, absolutely. One more thing, Ron, is this Will County notification of the zoning. And the purpose is to operate and construct an outdoor youth soccer facility. And this is on the property of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. And that is on the corner, well, the vacant parcel is located on the southeast corner of Bruce Road and Briggs Street. So they have a map amendment and a special use permit for a variance. And the scheduled hearing date is October 3rd of 2017 at 6:30 p.m. at the Will County Office Building, which is located at 302 North Chicago Street on the second floor in the boardroom. Copied on this email was the fire district, and the comments that they made were the fire district has no concerns with the plan as presented for land use. We do have a concern with the possibility of parking along Bruce Road during events, which may impede our ability to travel west to Brick Street from our Bruce Road Fire Station at 17400 Bruce Road. So, with that being said, I don't know if anybody wants to be present at that public hearing. If you know, I did talk to a resident in Fairmont today, which they said, you know, great for the community, you know, having a soccer field out there. So I don't know if there's any other objections out there.
I can go, when is it?
It's October 3rd, 6:30.
I'll get that, I have that email.
Yeah, you do.
So I'll look into it. Maybe I'll show up just to hear the comments. I don't believe I have anything against it at this point.
Can you forward that email to me?
Sure. Sure. And then just one more thing, as Ron had mentioned in the beginning of the meeting, it seems like we have a tremendous amount of disasters around us. And I know that when we had the tornado in Coal City and around that area, that I had just brought up briefly to the board that maybe we should look into having a relief fund of some kind here at the township. It would just be, residents have been asking me, is the township doing anything for the people in Texas, for the people in Florida? So I know it's not on our budget right now, our budget, but I just feel that this is really something as a government that we can give back in some fashion. Even if we were to hold a donation center here in this big building, Ron, I don't know, anything that we could possibly do to let the residents know they could donate. I mean, there are so many, you know, the Red Cross has got, you know, donation centers all over. But maybe just for our Lockport Township residents, if
We do have in our, I believe it's our general assistance line items budget, an emergency fund that we have used in situations like when that hotel burnt down in Lockport. We keep it for instances in Lockport Township itself. I know we've used it just, I think it was 2 months ago, 3 months ago, for that tree we cut out of that resident's yard that was threatening to fall on her house, and
right.
she was blind. So we do have a fund for that. I did get a phone call late Friday. I was out of the office by 4 o'clock. It was after 4 o'clock. It came in about getting a room here, if we can, to start taking collections in to go down to Florida or Texas.
I think that's
And I
great.
have tried to reach out this morning. I was at the 9/11 ceremony there, and a person that I need to talk to works for the city, so she wasn't in today.
Okay.
First thing tomorrow, I'm going to talk to her and see
Okay.
if, I believe we do have room in this building for a
Absolutely.
collection. And I would, you know, I'd be more than happy to help any way we can.
Okay. Thank you, Ron.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. Any trustees, comments or
I would just
suggestions?
like to comment, all very, very good ideas, you know, Lockport Township getting involved, trying to help out within the community, like what Denise and you, Ron, both suggested. Maybe I would just like to suggest another thing too, is the comments that were made at the 9/11 ceremony this morning, as far as maybe even reaching out for a blood drive. And we have the room here to probably help out with that. It seems that's one of the things people really seem to want to do is a blood drive too, so maybe check in something like that.
That'd be another wonderful idea.
To that end, the last probably 4 blood drives I've been involved in, they now do it where it's on those big RVs, so they may not even need to utilize the inside of the space. They would simply need a parking lot to be able to have one of their huge RVs out there. So you may not even need to open up the inside, it would just be make it available and accessible to parking.
I have no problem having no driver, but I think that'd be another wonderful idea. Hey, I got a little extra blood in me. All right. Any other comments or suggestions? Hearing none, I just want to bring you up to date with the building. Couple of things. Today, we just kind of tried to put together a calendar of events that will be on the computer as to what we have booked in this building. It'll be on, I want to get it set up so It's on the part of our computer for everyone, so everyone in your office will have access, your office will have access to it. Anything that we book, that way we won't get double booked. So far, we've been lucky and not gotten anything double booked yet, but we need to get a system in place. So we did kind of put it together this afternoon. We're getting everything on that calendar, and that's where we're kind of keeping it on schedule. Dean and I met for our first meeting to kind of put a building committee together so far, and then he's out of town and I did leave, go out of town for a little while, so we are working on that. It didn't fall off to the wayside. I know before we get this all put together, though, we're going to have we're going to have to put together some kind of bylaws as to how we approach this, who's on the board. I know we've already decided who will be on the board, but we need it in writing to be approved. And, so it's going to take a little bit to put this together, but we're working on it. And when I get back, now that things are settling down a little bit, me and Dean can decide how we're going to go forward with that. Tom's asphalt was, he was going to reseal the driveway and stripe it and fix it up. They were supposed to start this weekend. They called and said they were going to come out Saturday and do some of the preliminary work with the cracks, filling them, getting it ready. This Wednesday they were planning on, in the afternoon, do all the salt cutting and replacing all the bad spots. And then next weekend they talked about resealing everything, and following Sunday, striping. They failed to show up Saturday, so I don't know. I'm going to try to call them first thing in the morning, see what their schedule is. We did have a student teachers conference again that we approved today in the building, and it turned out good. I don't know, that was at 9/11, but we had a good handful of kids here.
Thank you, Mr. McGowan.
The other thing I want to bring up today with the food pantry, I'm sad to say that I guess I'm under the understanding that the food pantry is going to be having to move out of their facility on 9th Street at the end of September. I believe it's September 22nd, I heard. We're working to get this area fixed up for them to move in as quickly as we can. They did start construction today. They have all their drawings approved from the city. They got their architectural work, their drawings put together. Mr. Naylor is working here. He was here today all day. They did do some work on the brickwork that they have to put in for the doors on the exterior. Hopefully, we're going to get this thing done as quickly as possible so the food pantry won't be closed very long, if we're going to be closed at all. So hopefully we're going to work together and get that done. Everybody seems to agree on everything so far. Other than that, everything else seems to be going pretty good in the building. Anybody have any questions? Maybe I can answer. Hearing none, going into new business. I want to approve tonight the intergovernmental agreement for the Taft School. This is a new program for the new trustees that are unaware of it. We did it at Fairmont for about a year and a half, about 2 years ago. We haven't been doing it for last year because of the move and some issues over at Fairmont. But what we do is a musical program, after-school program with the kids over there. We have a couple of guys go there after school, and it's an after-school program, basically teaching how to play some musical instruments and build their confidence up, basically. It's a confidence building program. They work really good at Taft, at Fairmont. I think it's time to move into another school. I don't want to just concentrate on one school, so now I want to go with Taft for a while there. That's another school that their funding is very limited because of there is no business in that area. It's all homeowners, property tax in that school. And I don't believe they have a music program. They want to talk about maybe doing it during the classroom. It doesn't matter what time they do it done, but basically it's a pretty boilerplate intergovernmental agreement between the school and us. And Gary's the one that wrote it up for us a couple years back. So I would need an approval for the intergovernmental agreement for tax school.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce.
Second.
I got a second by Barb Delaney. Any questions?
Who runs this program?
Township basically runs it.
No, I mean, who?
I have two employees, two guys that volunteer, musicians.
They volunteer?
No, we pay them.
How much does it cost the township?
I think I have a $1,000 line item for
$1,000.
For the entire year.
the entire
And they go how often?
year. Basically, it's a 6-week program that we do. We own the ukuleles, we own the instruments already, so we don't have to buy them anymore. First year, we had $5,000, we had all the equipment put together. Now we don't have to buy it, so now we're just paying teachers to come over there and do it.
So, we're looking to approve $1,000 for this program.
The money's already approved. We approved that with the budget.
So it's already budgeted for
It's
this
already
program?
budgeted. All I'm doing is moving it to the school.
Okay.
I'm doing the TAP instead of Fairmont. So this is the intergovernmental agreement between TAP and us. They have to pass it on their board, they pass it, we pass it, and it's in the class. Any other questions? Okay, got a motion and a second. Have a roll call, please.
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, next on the agenda is approval of a trunk and treat program. Basically, this is a program Debbie Mason came to me with. She asked if she would like to promote this. It's for Halloween. I'm going to let her speak on this behalf because I told her I'd love to do it, but she's going to do the heavy lifting of it.
I mean, basically, TAP school does it. A lot of churches do it. Instead of having the kids go out, not door to door, we have we do it at our church, but we do like trunk or treat. So people come with their cars, and you can decorate your car any way, and the kids come in the parking lot and just trick or treat around, the different cars. We're looking, TAP school, we don't want to interfere with their day. We checked in, we're going to work around their day. The park district is not going to be interfered with either. We're looking to do it on Thursday, October 26th. We do it like from 5 to 7 or 6 to 8.
So this was just a sample?
These are just samples of ones that we pulled offline. That, we were going to take the flyers to the schools in the area.
So you want to advertise for different vendors to come here with their vehicles?
Or different people, usually at the church, the people that belong to the church that come and, that do it, but, we're trying to get all my employees so that they would do it. Anybody that really wanted to do it, but we're trying to get teachers or any, that type of thing to come and help.
And the date was Thursday?
We're looking for Thursday, October 26th.
I'm sorry, Deb, I didn't hear where's it at?
Where we want to get it in the parking lot.
Right here?
Okay.
Parking lot here.
Rick, I have a question for you, being in the chamber. They did that at Delwood last year, and they're not doing it this year.
I thought we were doing it again.
I couldn't find it online. We went on the chambers.
Make sure. I think it was
I'll tell you in a second.
on a Sunday though, last year.
They do, it doesn't, it's on Saturday.
We were in
The
that.
chamber's doing it, it's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday?
Yes. Or, no, Sunday, you're right, Sunday, it is Sunday.
We were trying to stay away Friday. I guess a lot of the grade schools are having dances, Halloween dances and that type of thing. So we were trying to maybe have it on a Thursday, not to interfere with weekend parties or whatever.
I think it's a very good idea. It's a lot safer for the kids than going door to door.
Along with the approval, though, I would like to, I put down $100 through because I'd like to put our buses out there with candy and kids, obviously. And the other $100 gift cards, from what I understand, they do give prizes out for certain ages, 25.
We're going to do like groups, 0 to 3,
Costume.
yeah, like costume jumping. And then we also thought maybe we could give a gift card for the bus stop or the car.
Well, I guess my only question would be is $100 for candy enough? And what do you think?
We have PCS, SPSC, and Rockdale has donated candy to us also. All right.
Okay.
Well, we can help that if you want.
Well, I mean, she's getting donations for candy, then that's fine too.
I would like to do the $100 gift cards.
I didn't want to go and try to eat candy if it wasn't food.
Well, Delaney contract, and we're going to.
Thank you so much.
Will they, bring the truck and?
You're pushing it. We're busy working.
On Thursday night.
All right, so do I have a motion? Can I get a motion?
I'll make that
I
motion.
got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. Any other discussion? Hearing none. I have a roll call for the approval of trunk and treat program and $100 in candy and $100 gift cards.
Alberico?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Delaney?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for putting this together. I like both the sides with the library. All right, next on the agenda, I just want to bring up really quick, everybody should have, I hope if they didn't, basically get this memo that we're going to, I'm trying to put a newsletter together. We're trying to get it, everything put together, so basically it's not the trustees as much as Debbie's office needs to get her page put together. Denise has to put her page together. John Swilinski, I will reach out to him, try to get him to do his page, but I'd like to get everything in by September 15th. I do have, I usually do have in the past, allow a little spot for if a trustee wants to write something, you know, representing the trustees, you know, a couple paragraphs, I can put it in the trustees page. Basically, the trustees page features everybody's pictures and, you know, names and phone numbers and that information. If you want to write up something, I'd love to have, most of the time the trustees have it. It's been real helpful if they have it. But yeah, if you can put something together, I'd love to have it in by the 15th. I'm not even sure what that is.
That's Friday.
It's this Friday.
Okay.
I'd appreciate it. Other than that, I don't have anything else in new business. I have nothing in old business. I did receive from the city of Crest Hill a packet. They are putting together a TIF district, I believe. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but basically the city of Crest Hill has adopted the attached ordinance setting a time and place for a meeting of the Joint Review Board and for the public hearing to consider the creation of a redevelopment project area as set for in the enclosed draft redevelopment plan and the project. The city will convey the meeting of the JRB on October 10th, 2017 at 11 a.m. at the City Hall, 1610 Plainfield Road, Crest Hill, Illinois. So anybody interested in going to the public hearing for the TIF district that their City of Crest Hill is trying to put together, and I believe the TIF district is along Plainfield Road area.
Ron, I have represented municipalities where TIF districts were heavily utilized. Someone from the township really wants to be present at those. It can be a wonderful thing for encouraging development, but the township simply needs to be well aware of what happens in terms of your taxes that go with that particular area that's been included in the TIF. It may mean that we receive either less or that we receive it over an extended period of time instead of when you think you should be receiving the funds. So it's a rather financially, potentially financially concerning issue. The township just needs to be well aware.
Well aware of that, yeah. I know a lot of school districts have issues with the TIF districts.
Absolutely.
I'm going to try to put it on my calendar.
And the same would actually go for for John, because as a separate funding entity, he also has concerns that he needs to make sure are addressed as well.
All right.
And the date again was October 10th.
So, look, make sure. October 10th, 11 a.m., City Hall, 1610 Plainfield Road, Preston, Illinois. The city's inviting representatives from each community, college, districts, elementary schools, townships, fire districts, all the taxing guys are invited. Like I say, if you're going to go, please call the city clerk, let her know so she can.
The city of Cresthill.
Yeah, city of Cresthill, city clerk. 815-741-5100. So she can make the appropriate arrangements. The other thing I have real quick, if I can find it. I get these notices from Chevron for everybody's information, is the old Texaco property down on Canal Street, I guess it was in Lockport. Chevron bought the property, but they are asking for a notice of Class 1 modification of the RCA post-closure permit of the former Texaco Lockport refinery. It's a lot of talk, but basically they're changing some of the language in the permit because the permit also establishes the groundwater management zone. Proposed protocol for the elevation of the arsenic detected in the groundwater management zone perimeter wall dated October 4th, 2016. This correspondence proposes a revision up to the groundwater correction action program specified to the manner in which the arsenal detection in the groundwater samples from the GMZ, which is the groundwater management zone, perimeter wall networks are evaluated. So, just let me know that. I'm just passing that out.
Could you make copies of that and let us have that?
Sure. You want it? I can give you this. Well, no, I've got to keep put it in my file. I will send you email.
Okay.
This also. All right. I have nothing else unless there's anything else you guys wants to bring up tonight.
Well, since there is no, is there a report from the water board? Does the water board report to the town fund, or is it just a separate entity now, or what?
Right now we're still a separate entity. I'm working with a lawyer as to how we're going to turn it. We have to do a little paperwork, approval of some resolutions, but we're going to get it till Monday night here. I'm not quite sure how, since you guys resigned, how that's going to work. But we have to figure that out. So I have appointments with the lawyer, get it all worked out, step-by-step way how it's going to work.
Do you have reported the monies of anything from the water department, or is it just
Not for this board.
not for this board? No. Do you have a report that, is it on the website, or is it, we have to FOIA the information to find out what's going on with the water board?
We have our water board meeting, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, the water board meeting wasn't announced last month, so the water board meeting was only announced 2 days in advance last month. Because it was changed to accommodate the schedules of the three-person board.
Right, it's going to be
So it
changed
wasn't announced,
again.
it was in violation of the Open Meetings Act, right?
No, it wasn't. I say that.
Because it was only announced 2 days in advance of the meeting.
I don't think it was. I believe it was about a week before the meeting.
Was it posted?
Yes.
It was posted, you're positive?
Sure.
Okay.
We could probably go back on our video and see that it's posted on the wall, actually when they put it on the doors.
Okay.
We post all our meetings. And I'm glad you brought that up because to accommodate, we have to have everybody there. We are going to move, it'll be on the same date, on September 25th, but we're going to do it 10 o'clock in the morning in my office. So everybody knows.
What's that date?
25th. Fourth Monday of the month. It's an open meeting, anybody can come.
Ron, I just want to add this to it because it may help that if and when that decision is made, then those meetings will, they will be publicized. In the newspaper, or whatever, just like our regular schedule.
Part of this meeting is what I'm trying to get it to. This is the Township's Water Department, trying to get it to this meeting. So, but I want to make sure I do it the right way, the legal way, so I'm going to be talking to the lawyer and have him follow a step-by-step way to get it done. All right, anything else? And I would call for an adjournment.
I make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second?
second by Barb Delaney. All in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.